Hey everybody. Teleportation zombie, man. Sorry, I don't have the deck list up on the screen. I'll put it up after this game. Maybe thinking cap is better than this. I'm feeling really tense. I feel like this deck works too much. I have to change some stuff around. Let's do this next turn. Actually, no, I could have used this and then the treat next turn. Whoops. Mistakes were made. Yeah, the Dandelion King deck is very fun. We needed one of those to be sugary, so we'll probably just lose now. No removal. This deck has some major problems. I don't know, like that. I said, I don't know, people are just so mean. I just seem like I'm not normal. If you're not a conformist, people discriminate against you. It's very sad. I feel like crap. Sorry, I didn't make the death list. This is probably something that gamers can relate a lot to. Let me know if you relate to this in the chat. Do you feel like if you know, society has a whole bunch of things that you need to conform to. You need to think the same way as everyone else, dress the same way, talk the same way, have the same values, think the same way, date the same types of people that they do. And if you do something a little bit different, people just discriminate you. Not about just that one thing, but about everything. Because they build a profile about you that you're a weirdo. And you cannot be trusted because you don't follow the rules. Is anyone here? I bet there's probably a lot of gamers who relate to that idea. I think a lot of people do relate to that idea, but most people, they don't get to that point where they'll say, okay, so maybe I should just be tolerant towards other people. For some reason, people don't bridge that gap. They want everyone to tolerate their things, but they don't want to tolerate anyone else's because they have reasons for not tolerating other people. I think I win. But the problem is that most people who feel that way, that they, don't want to be, they want to be accepted for their things, even if other people don't get it. Things about other people that they don't get, they still discriminate against them. They say, oh, that's bad. It's kind of crazy. Because people validate their own feelings, but they won't validate another person's feelings. I hear what you're saying, just ignore them, but it just turns out that I'm living in a world where I can't be myself around anyone because it feels dangerous. It feels like someone's going to be a vigilante. I can't let anyone in. It just, and it, you know, the people I do want to let in, I have to be so careful, and so that, you know, and then even those people, it's like, I just want to just live in a world where I can just be myself and not have to be afraid all the time. It's just living this whole life of fear, you know? Just go for this one. I can also replay this next turn. So is this more valuable? What did you want to do that you couldn't? Actually, not even going to get into it because people are such intolerant FUCKs. I don't want to have to deal with them right now.
Hey, for good stream free. Just stop pinkering before tacos.
What? Tacos. Thank you. Real good down to 2. The ball's fine. I wish. Is this an illogical fear? I feel like I have to conform to diversity, and I really can't because I'm a Jewish white male. So I'm really worried colleges won't value me. But again, it's the same thing. People are so concerned about people discriminating against black people and against women, but nowadays in universities, the most discriminated against group are straight white men. It's true. And people justify it. They have all these reasons why that's okay. And how it's different. And it's not comparable. And they get offended if you even compare them. But they are comparable. And it hurts. It fucking hurts. It's just hypocritical. Most people are hypocrites. I don't know. This is not... We're bricked. I don't know. We're just getting so bricked here. Maybe a tempo deck that relies on tricks too much isn't good, but what about Trick Mech? I don't get why Trick Mech works and this doesn't. Life is too short, watch it come and go. I'm just not I just don't like this. I don't like this whole thing. I need to find a new place. Let me know if you live in a place where people are actually tolerant and kind and treat others the way they would like to be treated. I don't know. There's probably no. It would probably require an entire society to be intellectually honest, and that's just human brain hasn't evolved enough for that. So. Did you want to do something feminine and someone stopped you? That's not the exact example, but it's something like that. I don't want to get into details because there's just so many haters out there. Yeah, I do live in Canada. Hello, Cheddar. Come on, gadget scientist. I don't know. I need to. You know what I need to do? I need to open up Trick Mech and look at the card draw and the minion and the trick ratio. I think I'm just completely missing the boat here with something. I think you should take some days off. No, I could take a day off. That would make me feel a lot worse, honestly. I don't want to take a day off. I streamed today not because I felt an obligation to stream. I did it because I needed people to talk to and hang out with, and events, and play some games, and it is making me feel a little better. Stop telling me to take days off. The worst thing you can do when you're depressed is just not be productive. Just let yourself fall into the depression. I can't break through here. These paparazzis, man. I really, that's what I need to do. And I need to look at the superpowers. This needs some freaking analysis. This is gonna be the end of me right now. There's no way for it to break through either. Like, anyway. This will go up to 5. It does regardless. It at least makes a dent in this, though. I don't know. No, it actually lives with Rafa. Worth it! Can actually still win. Just has to not pull some nonsense. He doesn't have a lane, too. I think we're good, actually. The advice is to not care. Yeah, but again, the advice is to not care. But like, I think some people, you know, if you're an introvert, maybe it's different, but a lot of people have sort of just this very basic, damn, what the heck am I supposed to do about this? Maybe I should not have used that rolling stone because I need it for next turn. Whoopsie daisy. So this will go up to 6. But it kills the aloe. It's probably worth it. It's like, I want to live in a place where I feel accepted. I don't want to... This psychological thing where, first of all, in Toronto, you walk down the street and you're a man and no one makes eye contact with you. Nobody. It's like, it's just so psychologically taxing. Well, I don't care what they do. So you just live in a place where no one trusts you just because you're a man. I haven't done anything wrong, but I'm treated like a criminal. Not blocking there was good, I think. We have no way of breaking through. And like when I try to get close to people, for the most part, just the fact that I'm a nonconformist, they find that out. They find out one thing that I do that's not, or one opinion that I have that they disagree with. And then they just mark me as this terrible person. This happened to me recently. I made some new friends in Mexico. And, I don't know. I said one thing that they very disagreed with. It wasn't anything bad either. But they just have no tolerance, and then they just painted this whole picture of me as being this terrible, terrible person. I mean, this happens a lot, especially with like, you know, extreme leftists. But yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe, you know, hanging out with that crowd is a mistake. But on the other hand, I hang out with conservative Orthodox Jews, and they do the same thing. It's just different, you know. If you disagree with one thing that they really care about, you're right. Now you're an idiot now. Those are some powerful words. Which words? You walk down the street and no one makes eye contact with you. It's crazy. In the smaller places, it could be a smaller place and build trust, but at the end of the day, usually those small places, you know, have a very, very, again, you have to conform exactly to their thing. I just wish there was a place where people didn't care. It wasn't like you just have to be normal. I don't know if there's any place like that in the world. Going to Europe, where though? Like where? No one's 100% correct about opinions, but most people are 100% sure that anyone who disagrees with them about something that they consider important, that person is a bad person. They just label them as, that's a bad person. They disagree with me. They think that being gay is okay, or whatever it is. That was the supreme example of what everyone agreed. 50 years ago, everyone thought, whatever it was, 100 years ago, everyone thought being gay was wrong. I just love using that as an example. People hate it when you compare that to other things, but whatever. Alright, let's open this up. I think it's all about having a ratio. This isn't the right deck. Where's my ZMech deck? Do I not have it on this computer? I must have it. Come on. Alright, I'll just go and see it, because apparently I don't have the updated version of this. The icebergs won't judge you, so I should move to Antarctica. Exactly, that's what I feel like. This is the deck that, like, really, really works. Okay, I'm realizing two things. We don't have turn one setup plays. That's something that's majorly missing, and it's something really important to the tempo of this deck. But getting one of these, this sometimes survives, this almost always survives on turn one. Alright, so let's, I'm gonna make a deck list out of Trickmech just to have a reference here. Con man, though. I'll put this up on the screen. Now we have a nice point of reference here. What are we going to use for turn 1 setup plays? Ireland is really nice and accepting. Yeah. Maybe. Are you sure it's because I'm a man? Well, I have my friends who are women, and they tell me everyone is very, very nice and cheerful to them. So maybe it's not a man-woman thing. I think it is. She thinks it is.
Shut up and take my money.
Sup home slice.
What's up, Go United? There is this phenomena, especially in like really modern places and really, liberal places, where there's just a lot of sexual abuse. In conservative places it happens, but it is less because people are less sexually liberated. And it turns out every single woman is sexually abused at some point in her life. And then that just creates the stereotype on men that all men are abusers, even a nice guy like me. It's just considered a danger. You have to protect yourself, and people are very, very protective around guys. Maybe we have to go the old-fashioned way, where you wait till marriage, All right, let's get Rust Bolt and see if we have anything we can. You're right. The brainy class is not. I don't know. Okay, where's Rust Bolt? Come on. People are more friendly in villages? Maybe. I definitely, a smaller place, like not a big city, is probably better for me. I have met a few friendly people around here, but it's not my type at all. Oh, how do we replace the con man and this is not playable on 1. This might be the problem. What do we play on turn 1 in this deck? I don't see any good options. We could run 2 of these. So maybe that's it. Maybe it just doesn't work. This isn't good enough. Maybe this is good enough. Who the heck even knows? You know what? This can be a setup play too. It doesn't lose trades. And we have science energy. This will be going viral. So this will be like the Quasar of the deck. This will be the rockets, I guess. So I guess we can add another. Well, we can add a flick, I guess, instead of. Removal cards. Maybe the gadgets aren't right. Maybe the gadgets just aren't. This is the what are we missing here? 3. I'm not running any environments. Are the gadgets good enough? I don't know. This follows the recipe more or less. The only thing is 2 gadgets and 1 drone engineer instead of the 3 black holes, so it should be okay. Let's see how this goes. The other thing is the superpowers. Like, so Rockwell's the same. This is, see, these 2 aren't playable on turn 2. That's the other problem here. These 2 superpowers suck. Let's try this version. People in small villagers usually have to conform more. In a bigger city, you have to conform less, because there's more diversity and there's fewer strict standards. But yeah, people are definitely more friendly in smaller places. I don't think I want people who are. I mean, in a place with friendly people, that would be nice. But it's not just friendly. The friendly is not the thing. It's tolerant. It's actually tolerant. I don't think people in smaller villages are more tolerant than others. I think your engineer works. It's just not. I don't like this. Hopefully his play is Triceratops. Are you kidding me, bro? It's so annoying. So just the 3-1 drops. I don't even know what to do anymore. Maybe you should teach people about being more tolerant. I could. I need to be happy in my life first before I teach people the better way, you know? Is there any group anywhere that would be happy with someone coming that isn't like them, that does not conform to their ideas? I mean, again, it depends what they concentrate on. If they concentrate on as a person, are they a good person? Are they kind? Are they caring? So I can definitely fit those criteria, but my opinions are the same as them and everything? No, it's just not. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way. I'm not a conformist, so I'm not going to end up with the exact same ideas as any particular group of people. The only way is tolerance. How is this a 4-6 already? Because I drew cards. Almost done. Can roll. I don't know. So we have to roll 2 and a 3, right? And get chopped. And him not get time to shine. Can still do it. Wow, we're probably gonna win now. It's so lucky, bro. Stupid. Unless he has some removal card. It's just gonna digging for something. Primal Potato Mine is not gonna get the job done. 3, 4, 5, 6. Still light. Probably should have played that beam first. You could have gone spring. That was so lucky. Try meeting with people with your opinions. I'm not gonna find any group where they have the same opinions as me. Think about it. You have a million opinions about all kinds of things. Your brain, everyone's brain works a little different. How could it be that your opinions are the same as me? The only way for that to happen is if you conform. If you let them teach you your values. But if you're thinking for yourself, there's no way you're gonna fit into any group. How is that possible? You can maybe find one person who you have a lot in common. Like, that's hard enough. But to find a group? Like, well, how brainwashed does that group have to be that everyone thinks that everyone has the same opinions about everything? The only way is to become a conformist. Maybe I should just become a conformist. I don't know how to do that, though, because I'm already an intellectually honest person. I can't pretend. I can't be happy pretending that, oh my, I can just lie. That's the thing. The only way is just to freaking lie. Or just never talk to anyone ever. That chop was extremely lucky. What are you gonna do about the situation? And I don't know. I have no idea what to do. I have an idea of trying to find like completely different communities in different countries. Like I don't know. The people I meet from the Philippines seem to be very nice, and they seem to not be overly concerned about politics and religion. It's just like they're much more into just like being happy in community and family. And it could be a vibe like that of genuinely pretty nice and community-oriented people. And people are, again, not... I think this is a Western thing where everyone's so concerned about their political party winning and their side, and people are just so mad all the time that I think there's hopefully a place in the world where it just doesn't work that way. Are you able to lie yourself that deeply? Nope. I'm not able to. Some people could. Some people are just really good at being delusional. I'm not. I can't pretend. Ah, the smell removal is killing me here, man. Oh, come on, man! What am I supposed to do? He's so lucky, man. This was just a 50-50, man. Again, I do have a few friends who we have very different ideas. Again, I'm not a religious person. One of my best friends is a very religious, very strong, faithful Christian, yeah? But we respect each other's opinion, and we try to understand. We learn a lot from each other. We try to understand. We don't have this idea that if someone disagrees with us, they're a bad person. Once you have that idea, it's impossible to tolerate anybody. We'll get a Yeti or something. Oh, we got Brain Vent. Oh, that's nice. We can go viral now. It's pretty damn good. The United States is not. It's not a tolerant place. I mean, it could be. It used to be. I don't know how things were like 70 years ago. I don't think so, though. I mean, they used to beat up gay people 70 years ago. How tolerant could it have been? I think that there's a lot of legal freedom to express, you know, freedom of speech and to think differently. So at least that is a level of tolerance, legal tolerance. So that's something. But people aren't actually tolerant. Muslims in Iraq, where you live, are pretty tolerant. I mean, would they be friends with someone who does not share beliefs, doesn't believe in the Quran? I don't know what religious people are like in different places. Is this in this deck now? Yeah, this one's in the deck. Might be pretty good here then. That's an Astro Shrimp from doing anything. It does seem like the deck is doing a lot better without the paparazzis, though. Let's get this deck list up on the screen now. It feels better already for some reason. See how it goes. Against grass knockings, yeah. It's so weird. I would have thought that social media would have made people more tolerant because there's more diversity of ideas, but I think it makes people less. It's kind of like the Toronto phenomena is what I call it, is that I consider Toronto to be one of the most passive-aggressive cities in the world. It's very diverse. It's people from every part of the world here. It's a huge, huge mixing pot. But I think that creates this unfamiliarity and that makes people trust each other less. Like, if you would have a place where everyone is the same, people trust each other more. In Toronto, it's just known that on the subway, people don't even make eye contact with each other. It's like really... I mean, I guess a lot of big cities are like that. Maybe it's just because it's a big city. Who knows? Maybe people just think since it's in Canada, it's supposed to be better, but it's just not the way it works. That's a weird grape response, but it doesn't even win this trade. Use 3 cards to deal. 3 for 1, let's go. Are going viral. Okay. I just don't have a like a compliment here. Like even a Hardy tree would go a long way. Flick. I guess we have the Rolling Stone. Let's go like this. Let's see what it is. So sad. Interdimensional zombie, man. It just seems to never really do me well unless a leap. Like if I could leap this would be good. I like it with the leap deck. Well, America is free because you have the laws protect freedom of speech and thought, for the most part. But, it's not, the culture is not free because if you say something and you don't actually conform, people hate you. A very hateful place. People very strong-minded. I don't think I Rolling Stone this, just being in this environment. I think with social media, I mean, it just seems like with the rise of social media, people have been much more. I think the more insulated people are, the more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe people's intolerance are just coming out more. Maybe people have always been this intolerant. Probably that's it. We can just see it a lot more clearly. I can see clearly now. This blob is so sad. Saddest blob ever. Australia, the laws don't even protect freedom of speech. You know what? That's just American propaganda. I don't even know if that's true. Who the hell knows anything anymore? So the win condition is trying to buff these enough to. Maybe I will go for this now. Actually, no. We need something to die. Whoops. can't gadget yet. Maybe this is still worth it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll see. Morals are as important as laws to make a place safe. That's definitely true. But what happens when you have... Right, when you have... According to American law, a person 100 years ago, if you just think of the fundamentals about freedom and people not imposing their ideas and freedom of religion, and like, why would people 100 years ago get arrested for being gay? Think about it. It just doesn't fit. I mean, why was there slavery? There's a lot of things that just... You know, there was this idea which was pretty good, but I don't know. I know the world wasn't ready for it. I don't know. What strategy deck do I made a tier list on the strategy deck, so you can check the ones that are in S tier. Those are the best ones. Did he root wall this? I just have no way of buffing my minions. I don't know. It's just so sad. Very sad indeed. I'm honestly not even that afraid of Mr. Kudos. Maybe with 2 rockets in our hand and we spend one here. It's so sad we can't nerf this. Anything else with 3 attack we could get to 0 and break through perhaps. I just only have 1 lane to deal with because I have so many environments. We can still win. He just doesn't have any ways of putting us away. Now we can go and borrow. Oh. Are you kidding me, man? It's so broken. Wow, do I just play this now? I probably do. crazy, man. Small chance of winning right there. There's 2 cards left. Going viral on a rocket, just a perfect hand. Bruh. Whee! Guaranteed for us. Wow. Bob Secra. Oh. Maybe we should work on this deck a little bit. Something I've really gone away from a lot. Let's give this a whack again. Could be this is more of a ranked deck, but not a tournament deck. I don't know. I went away from the Cro-Mag. Maybe that's the problem.
Shut up and take my money!
That last match felt like the trenches in World War I. Complete grind.
Yeah. He just didn't have an efficient way of winning. I mean, I guess he was running this gallon that he got like. Top tier Captain Combustible, I don't know. Captain Quickman, pretty good. There's also the Control aggro. If you want to see my Captain Combustible decks, just type in Fry 'em Up Captain Combustible. I'll find them on YouTube. Look for the ones that went 10-0. Those are usually top tier. Just setting up a Pine Clone. It's a free Pine Clone. Why not? 2 free Pine Clones. What is this mofo doing? What does he do? Oh, good. Cool. Alderberry and then Malika. Yo, I saw you on YouTube. Oh. I was actually playing New World yesterday and someone knew who I was there. It's kind of sweet. It's a little gamer world. I wish there was a community of game. I don't know, actually, most gamers. I think you guys are nice. It would be nice if we could form our own little community, but Honestly, if you start going into other games like New World and Overwatch are the two games I've been playing lately, most people I would not want to be their neighbor, not gonna lie. They're just mean. Very, very mean. Off meta. Okay. What's the best way of getting sparks is rank up to Ultimate League every season, then use your gems to buy premium packs, and this spark your extras, especially if you're buying premium packs, they give you a chance of getting Pokemon. It's just spend your currency well. Is this worth it for an early pine clone? I think it is. The cool thing about the puff shroom is it just protects us from beaming up or teleport one drop. Start a cult. Maybe that's the key. Maybe I have to for real start a cult. And I'll reason with the people that want to be reasoned with, and then everyone else I'll just brainwash them. It's actually not a bad idea. Go for the greedy Pineclaw? Hell yeah. I'll go for the greedy Pineclaw. Hi, Android. Hello, Cactus. Why not, though? Then I can just live in my own little world, you know? I definitely have the personality of like a cult leader. Maybe I should. How to start a cult. I should watch the cult documentary. But I won't be one of the guys who just like abuses people. I'll actually be like one of the nice ones. Most cult leaders are motivated because they need power and they need this. For me, I just want a place where I can live and be happy, you know? I think the pine folks. It won't be like a cult where you like, I charge everyone taxes. It'll just be like start like my own little actual in real life community. I wonder how to do that. Let's look into it. What are my PC specs? I don't know. I don't remember. I put this thing together years ago. Wouldn't you feel bad brainwashing people because you believe that people should think so? Well, I think that'll be part of the lesson, is telling people to think for themselves. I guess it won't work, because... yeah, I guess it won't work, though. Boop, 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 boop. Bounce a plant. By Elderberry. Keyboard style. I don't know. What if we just started, the basis of the cult was to be tolerant towards people who don't think the same as us? It probably just wouldn't work then, because then no one would be part of the, well, maybe they would, I don't know. I don't know. Freeze them up. Wouldn't be much. So it wouldn't be a cult then. It wouldn't be wouldn't actually be a cult. It would be a tolerant community. Maybe I should start one online. How did he survive there? He blocked and got super. Lame. Maybe I should put him up. I should have scorched the non-mixed upgrade later. An online community could be a Discord. It doesn't matter where it is. It would just, that would be the premise of it, is, you know, we just agree to some ground rules. Unless a person is actively, you know, being aggressive or harming another person, we tolerate whatever they do. I wonder if that would be appealing. Would you like, let me ask the chat, I mean, we have a couple hundred, I don't know how many people stay for this part of the stream. We have 150 people here. Yes or no, would you like to be part of an online community where we set the ground rule is, if one person is actively harming or being openly aggressive towards another person, those are the things we don't tolerate, but anything else goes. You don't have to be normal. You don't have to have the same values. Your opinions can be completely different. You can, as long as you're not it doesn't matter what your sexuality is. You could be a gay, furry, incest. It doesn't matter, yeah? As long as you are not actively harming another human being directly, not indirectly like you're being gay and causing a hurricane. You're not directly harming another human being. We tolerate you. Who would like to be part of that? Anybody? Any takers? We'll do our best to tolerate people's intolerance too. I think that is something we'll try to tolerate, but not when it involves being openly aggressive or violent towards another person. That's where we draw the line, and that is the only line that we draw. What does it mean, a community? It'll just be an online, it'll either be a Discord server or a Facebook group or a Reddit or a subreddit, and those are the ground rules, and you can discuss anything you want. You can bring up the most controversial topic, and you're not going to get in trouble for having an opinion there. And you're not going to be in trouble for doing anything as long as it's not, again, being openly aggressive or violent towards another person. That is the only thing that's off limits. And being openly aggressive, that mean you made a joke that offended someone. It doesn't count. Tolerate all expressions. It doesn't matter. Like an actual tolerant community. There's control. Sure, there's going to have to be moderators. And if this becomes an in real life community, there would have to be policemen. You cannot tolerate anyone being aggressive or violent towards another person, but not saying a thing that offends another person. That's not considered aggression. We're talking about openly attacking that person, verbally or otherwise. Can we incorporate Stalinist collectivism into the community? We can talk about it. You can definitely bring that up. Is this even legal? I don't know why you'd have to, again, the things you'd have to control are open aggression and violence. Those are the only things you'll have to control. You're not going to have to control anything else. You're not going to have to be knocking in people's doors and making sure that brothers and sisters aren't making out with each other, whatever they do in America. I don't know. Who cares? Let them do whatever the heck they want. You feel the minority opinions will still be ganged up upon? Again, there's going to end up being a consensus. Like that part of the idea of any open discussion is you're trying to, use. Yeah, you're saying it might be end up a lot of people just using emotion, not reason. I mean, we can try. We can try to also establish that we're going to try to use logic and reason as much, but that can't be a rule. If a person wants to make an irrational, emotional argument, then go ahead. Hello, Nikki Bear. People are too nasty and hateful. Is it intolerant for me to make a bad picture of someone that hurts people or does illegal stuff? Well, again, it depends what illegal stuff is. You know what I mean? It used to be illegal to be gay. So illegal, no. I don't think legality should have whatever happens to be legal in your country should therefore it's right to hate them, because there's a lot of stuff like that. Let's say a person does marijuana in a place where it's illegal. Like, is it okay to hate them? I mean, that just happens to be the opinion of the people who live in that place that they made that law. Again, I'm not advocating anyone to break laws of their place they live in, but I don't think just because a person is breaking a law doesn't mean you should hate them. It depends on the law. If the person's actively hurting people, I would say that would be a good one. Actively hurting, actively being openly aggressive. What about self-deprecation? Of course that's okay. Just another person. Just don't harm another person. Would there be a limit how many members? Why should we put a limit? Why should you keep people out? We'll kick people out if they break the rules. People are openly aggressive, and obviously, it's going to have to be it's going to be tough, because what's considered to be aggressive? That's rough. I think getting rid of but making the rule, and I'll admit the second rule is controversial. Getting rid of violence, that's not controversial. But getting rid of aggression, that is a controversial rule. But I just feel like that would help filter out the unreasonable, angry, illogical people and make it a place where you can actually have an open discussion. What about self-harm? I don't think there should be, honestly, personally, I don't think there should be any laws against self-harm. That should not be a legal thing. Again, if we're going to support a person who's harming themselves and try to help them, that's a good thing. That's a social issue, not a legal issue at all. Someone who starts advocating and convincing, children to self-harm, obviously, again, that's I would say that's considered directly harming them. Take a malleable person and basically brainwashing them into self-harm. I would say that crosses the threshold of directly harming another human being. But if an adult wants to hurt themselves, I don't think it should be a legal issue. Again, we should be concerned, we should care, but it should not be a legal issue. Nikki Bear, that's so nice. I mean, if it's legal, why would it be illegal? What about a place where you can really bring up any idea and talk about it and not be discriminated against? Again, the moment a person starts putting you down for suggesting an idea, that guy gets kicked out. If they want a reason, and even if they want to say your idea is a really bad idea, then that's allowed. But the moment they start attacking you as a person, then they are kicked out. The attacker gets kicked out. Just permaban. What if the discussion is about furry, hentai, all this stuff? No problem. You can discuss whatever you want. A rose bush is beautiful till you feel its thorns. I don't know what the moral of that story is. Someone's going to be discretion in what's considered being aggressive and hurting towards another person. That's the problem. That's going to be the big challenge, because you're going to end up people saying, well, you're a, they'll go to another person and say you're a retard, and say, well, they'll say, I didn't mean that in an aggressive way. I just was stating a fact. In my opinion, that person's a retard. So, you're going to end up, it gets really subjective. I'd have to think about that part of it. cult. How about just a community? Like starting an actual, tolerant, intellectually honest community. Let me think about it more. Being tolerant and nice on the internet is illegal for I don't, you know? Tragic Mangi. Welcome to the family. Thank you for subscribing. You are too smart for most. Can they really handle this format? Again, I think people who can't handle this format are going to get filtered out. They're not going to feel like they belong there. And they're probably going to start getting aggressive towards people, and then they're just going to get booted. I don't... Like, what if you end up with a lot of, like, very irrational people? Okay, let's just say community gets dominated by a lot of very irrational people. But that's fine. People are allowed to be irrational. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And we'll try to use reason and educate people. I feel like you can't educate people if there's limitations, if people start being violent to you for expressing certain views. I don't think it's a community guy. I thought you said communist. Like, I happen to be very anti-communist. Like, I really don't believe in that sort of society. But, like, people express those views to me. I still love them. Like, I don't have a problem with them. But when I start expressing my views to those people, they hate me. They just don't want to, like, they don't respect me anymore. I don't know. You can try to start a community, but don't expect it to go perfectly. It'll need a lot of maintaining, yeah. Being nice could differ immensely. Again, I don't think there needs to be a rule that you have to be nice. I think that would be a terrible rule. But you just should not be... We're almost going to sort of be defining the bare minimum of nice as not being violent towards others and not being openly aggressive towards others. But again, that aggressive thing. It would be cool to sort of make that circle around like the deep fry or something. Maybe it would be separate. I don't know. I'm actually just considering this seriously for the first time right now. I've never considered just making an online community like this. Like, we have one that's revolving around a game, but what if it was something that actually revolved around being kind and tolerant? What if the third rule was try, not treat others the way you'd like to be treated, because it's impossible to maintain. That's a very, very tough standard. But at least try to. You know, and that would be an unenforceable rule, but it would be more of a premise. We'll be cutting eye holes in sheets soon. No, but we're not. We're not trying to harm anyone with this. We're just trying to find a place where tolerant and considerate people can be around each other and not have to deal with the noise and the hate and the violence and the hostility of the internet. And maybe someday we can make an in real life community. Who knows? That would be nice. That would be nice. What about discrimination? See, discrimination, according to these rules, and also is my opinion, discrimination should be legal, but not when it involves being hostile or violent towards another person. Just having a discriminative opinion, even expressing it, I don't think, by the way, that should be illegal. A controversial opinion. I don't think discrimination should be enforced by law. Now, we're going to try, if we see discrimination, we're going to try to educate the person and say, hey, I think you're actually being a little bit of a hypocrite here. That seems like a double standard. Like, why are you discriminating? Imagine if you were that person. How would you like to be treated? Like, it'll definitely fit into Rule 3, which is just try to treat others if you were in that situation. Treat people the way that you would like to be treated. But that would be an education process. It's not going to be an enforced rule. I really don't think you should be enforcing discrimination. I think that's a big mistake, by the way. Like, did all the laws against discrimination in the United States, did that make people not racist now? If anything, it can make them more, you know? I think if the amount of money and manpower and, you know, instead of buying bullets and having a civil war, I think if that was used to try to educate people, I think it actually, a controversial opinion, I think that would have worked way better in terms of solving the root of the problem of slavery, which is racism. The war ended slavery, which is good. That was overall a very good thing, despite, you know, all the loss and all the lives and everything. That was definitely progress. That was a good cause. But at the end of the day, imagine you that coordinated of an effort through education rather than through war. Not only would it have saved a lot of lives, I think it actually would have been more effective at the end of the day. Discrimination also apply to companies again? I don't think there should be any discrimination laws at all. I need a lot of help, and I need to what's it called? Let other people do the work. What's it called? To delegate. I have to delegate a lot. Did Civil Rights Act, you know, help or hurt, or did it do enough? Education's so underrated, guys. This is a good thing for me to think about now. You know, again, the whole thing I feel like I'm suffering from is from living in a society that just doesn't follow these rules. Just be tolerant, don't be violent, don't hurt anyone, don't be aggressive, treat others the way you'd like to be treated. It's just so simple. I think we'd have to make a rule meaning specifying tolerance. So you don't have to tolerate everyone else's opinion or other people, but that would maybe just be rule 4, where you just say, in general, we're a community that is tolerant. And that doesn't just mean towards a race and towards a this and towards a gender or something that's popular. It means towards people who have different opinions than you. Again, that would be an unenforceable rule. I don't think that would be right to enforce at all, but it would just be a premise. It would just be sort of setting a standard, you know? Give me a second. The point isn't for it to be a perfect place. The point isn't to achieve perfection. The point is just to have a community that has certain basic moral and intellectual standards, which is just basic tolerance. I mean, every community has standards. The problem is that they're usually way too many of them. We actually have much fewer standards than most communities do. That's the point. Isn't actually to create an abundance of standards. It's to decrease. It's to create a tolerant environment. I don't think it's gonna be perfect. I don't know. I have to see how it goes. I'd have to think about this. Also, the question is where to do it. I think the fact it's an open community and can grow, I think that's definitely Maybe it's being revolving around a YouTube channel. Who knows? Could be being more for like gamers. I think it could be for anyone. Who knows? I don't know. I'm only thinking about this for the first time right now. What the heck is this? I don't really know what to do with these. These two cards really anti-synergize. I feel like I haven't utilized any ramp yet. Maybe this should have gone in front. This thing's gonna be 3. The point is, it's not perfect. I'm not expecting anyone to be perfect. We're trying to create a community of intellectual honesty, but I don't expect that to happen. I don't think every person is just going to be into. That's not the point. The point isn't to create a strict standard. The point is that the strict standard we're trying to create is just tolerance. Like, really, just if a person disagrees with you, don't attack them. I don't know. I think it's so important for him to block this lane that this turns into a really good play. Because him beaming me up here and not here is like devastating. He doesn't necessarily have it either. He also just ruined his teleport, which he might have been relying on. Okay, that's fine. Control Rust Bowl good? Budget? I don't think budget. Especially because we probably need Tricksters more than enough. We need some kind of finisher. Control decks usually are not very budget. Again, the thing you're trying to create is not perfection. You're just trying to create tolerance of society. It's not going to be perfectly tolerant, and it's not going to be perfectly intellectually honest. I don't think it's unreasonable. I think the point is you're trying to create it that there doesn't have to be a normal. I mean, maybe the normal is being a tolerant and considerate person, but again, those are very low standards compared to most societies. Most societies have literally thousands of rules of what it means to be normal. I wonder, like, what if people start posting like nudes? Like, how would you? Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with nudity at all. That's my opinion. But that would probably make a lot of people uncomfortable. I mean, maybe we would just make another channel for that, like a specific channel for that. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think we should be able to talk about sex the same way we talk about anything. I don't think there's anything dirty about sex. That's my opinion. Again, it's okay if the other person has a different opinion, but maybe to respect those people, we should make different channels for anything to do with sex or nudity or anything like that. Problem for children. First of all, I personally don't believe a child seeing a nude adult matters at all. I don't think that's going to scar them. Someone being sexually aggressive towards a child, that's obviously very different. But you know, seeing a picture, I think that's a Christian idea. I don't think that we'd have to maybe conduct a scientific experiment, and I don't know exactly how you do that. But I don't know if lions see naked lions, bears see naked bears, dogs see naked, but I don't think a human seeing a naked human being psychologically harms them. Again, an act of sexual aggression, that would be very different. You know, someone flashing a kid, so that's you're imposing it on them. That's very different than if a kid happens to see a picture of a naked adult or see a naked. I don't think that it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm no expert in the subject. I just don't think that. I think that's that's an idea. That's a really old-fashioned, like a Christian, like sex is dirty. I think that's just tied. Those two concepts are tied to each other. But Japanese bathhouses have entire families bathing together. You think in like caveman days? You think like every kid who saw you think in Africa right now, the women they don't wear tops. So you think every kid who sees a topless woman is traumatized from that? It's ridiculous. I can't. It just doesn't make any sense. Who the heck is this? Then again, I can't say that I'm 100% sure of that. I just think it just doesn't. The ideas, it just seems like a lot of the ideas around sexuality in general are just very based on this Christian idea that sex is bad and dirty. Onsen? What the heck are these things? Captain Fantastic? No, I never heard of that. What is it about? I don't see what platform it's on. Looks like it's on YouTube Movies. The whole point of small communities is for people to be together with similar people, as opposed to a large community, which makes people different. Well, I think the whole point of this is not to be a normal community. The point of this is not to find... I mean, the standards we're setting are not... We agree with everything each other say. The standards are tolerance and kindness. And trying to have as few other standards as possible. I guess that's the third standard. Is... trying not to be normal. Trying to have a community that doesn't have strict ideas of what's normal, let's say. I don't know what's gonna happen here. We need really good molecule. Sad Buster. Oh my gosh, small kill sucked. That was really bad. We got a 3-3, a 2-1, and a 2-4. Ugh. Ugh. Discord is for subs. What happened to the community thing? Well, we're thinking and talking about it. I'd have to think about again how to enforce rules and stuff like that. Like, what does it mean to be aggressive towards another person, you know? I think maybe, you know, laying out some examples in the rules would be nice, just so people, you know, they're a little bit less open to interpretation. And then being also lenient, I think would be nice in general. Like, if there's something that's in the gray area, then it shouldn't be, you know, a bootable offense. Bootable. Unless it's very obviously breaking the rule. A bootable offense. Like this, so this dies, this doesn't get strike through. Can I stop getting crap though? Oh my gosh. Ah. This is fine. This is pretty good. This one's pretty good too. Should transforming count as evolution? I don't think so. That didn't do anything, by the way. Just playing for the future. This is gonna win us the game though. The Bird of Paradise. Of all the crap we've gotten, this was a good one. It's just what we needed. Survey says it's not bad. Car. O'er the ramparts we watch. What is this gonna be? It might be a pogo. No. This dying is okay. You're back with a belly full of tacos. What defines normal? It's what a lot of people agree on are normal. We're just trying not to, I don't know. I think that's the key to tolerance, is not having a standard of normal. So it's Mug. We don't actually know what the other one was. So it's Mug, Monkey. Hold on, so the monkey's definitely on the right. Where's the Mug? Is it all the way on the left? It's all the way on the left. So it's Mug, Monkey, and then we don't know. The small kill's looking kind of happy. Just go for the mall kill now? Looks pretty good. Definitely helps us. I like it. Nice. Wow. Wow. This was Grail. That was a perfect mall kill, probably. We'll save the berry blast. We're gonna get some value trades. My opponent's down to one card here. Not sure if this is our friend or not. Why not? Grapes of Wrath is 7, yeah. With the heals and everything, we were down to 2 health. We were in very grave danger. I didn't check the gravestones, but I don't think we really have a play here anyway. An elderberry would be better than this here. Should be fine. In case he performs a mirror. Oh, it moves twice now. I should have put it here. Graphic images to children. Again, you shouldn't be showing things to children that are going to traumatize them. You know, the same way if a children sees a person kill another person, that can traumatize them. You don't want to. I don't think you want to traumatize kids. The question is what traumatizes kids and what doesn't. I don't think a kid seeing their parent naked. I don't think that traumatizes them unless they're being overtly sexual or they're doing some kind of violence towards them. I feel like that's the part that traumatizes them. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I didn't count the win. I haven't been counting wins at all today. But again, another person has another opinion and they think that, I don't know. They think that lion cubs are traumatized from seeing their parent without clothing. That's your opinion. It's your opinion. It just doesn't make sense to me. Thoughts on identity politics? I think The lesson should be tolerate as many people and many points of view as possible, not tolerate this specific group. I think that's always a mistake. My window of innocence shattered. I'm seldom ever scared. Wayward son. I don't know what you're referring to right now. There needs to be research on this topic. I mean, look into it. There have been some studies and stuff like this. So most people, they don't care to look up the studies. They just, whatever society tells them, that's what they go with. So. Someone naked isn't bad, but highly sexual content is. Again, you'd have to just do a. I don't take that for granted at all. Honestly, I mean, lions who see their parents mating, does that traumatize the kids? I don't think it does. I think if you live in a society where they're taught that they were abused, that would be the thing that traumatizes them. I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like for millions of years. Again, not sexual aggression towards children. Obviously not that. That's rape. But I don't know. I think this idea where kids need to be sheltered is this thing that happened in Christianity, and it's just become this norm. I don't know on a psychological basis how I do. I don't. Does a bear who sees their parents mate, does that traumatize them? Don't know. I'm looking for land to start farming. Is your forehead for sale? Could traumatize them because they weren't supposed to see it according to the norm. But if the norm was taken away, there would be no reason. That's what I'm saying. It could be that's the case. I think it's the norm that traumatizes the people, not a kid knowing what sex is when he's growing up. I don't think that the mere knowledge of that traumatizes anyone. You really think that, like, I mean, nowadays, 10-year-olds with smartphones are watching porn. You think that that's really traumatizing? If they see something very gory and graphic, that's different. But, like, you think just knowing about sex traumatizes these guys? We'll find out. I mean, we're living in a generation where every single child watches porn at some point. So that's just what's happening. So we'll find out in about 10 years what the result of that will be. I'm not saying that we can compare our society to lions. My point is it something intrinsic? Is it something biological, or is it something societal? My point is, it is something societal. It's the societal things that are causing the trauma, not the actual biological things. That's my point. You're right. Once you have a whole society and a whole this, I mean, let's say a person, I don't know. Let's say a person let's say a person has a different religion. They live in a country, it's a very Christian country, and they're a Muslim. And will that end up traumatizing their kids? Very likely. It very likely will, because people are intolerant and there's a norm and their parents being weird and being different. Does that mean the person should give up their faith? Is that child abuse? The fact the person decides to practice Islam now? Is that child abuse? No. That's the abuse of society are the abusers there, not the parent. In order to respect Christians, you couldn't show nudity. So that would be the question: is that would you, out of respect? See, I don't think it would be like a bannable offense or a rule, but it would be, let's try to make people comfortable. So if there's things people are uncomfortable about, let's make, not that it's not allowed in the community at all, but let's make specific areas for those. I think having things that there's a time and place for. Not everyone wants to hear philosophy when they're watching a gaming stream, so maybe we should set aside specific times for philosophy. I think there's definitely some I know I'm being hypocritical right now, but or maybe I'm being self-critical, but like just the idea of like setting aside different channels for there's a time and place for anything, everything. I don't think that's a problem. It wouldn't be a matter of if a person says something sexual in the main chat that we're going to ban him, though. I feel like that would just be more of a matter of consideration, and maybe we'd suggest, hey, why don't we bring this to the other one? But not, it would be sort of, I feel like that sort of thing would have to be a community effort, not... there would be accountability, because I think being part of this community would be a privilege. Would we have voting on who the moderators are? I don't know, man. What if you end up with a hostile takeover of other people? They don't like this community, and they come in numbers, and they vote people. They vote one of their own on top, and they destroy the community. What would you do about a hostile takeover then if you make it a democracy? I don't know. But that's tough, because if I'm the leader of the community and I'm deciding who the moderators are and I have all the power, and I end up making, standards that people don't, I'm like, well, they can leave. I don't know. If you make it a democracy, what's going to prevent a hostile takeover is the problem. So maybe it has to sort of be a dictatorship in terms of the rules. But no one has to join if they don't want to. I mean, people can just leave. Is that a good enough justification, though? That's great, Ak. I feel like that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to create this topic about sexuality. I'm definitely not going to make this a community standard at all. It would be a nice thing to talk about in a place where different opinions are welcome and we're not being aggressive. We're trying to stay reasonable. But that would just be what this community is. It's just one of the many things that it's just about. It's about a place where you can talk about anything and not get banned. Exactly, Ak. Exactly. I have to think about how to market it too, like how do people find out about it? It being sort of attached to a YouTube channel would be nice. I just don't know how to do that without it sort of being like, what, I'm gonna make YouTube videos that represent this community? I don't think that would be right. I feel like that wouldn't be, I don't actually want my views to be representing every person in the community. I don't want that. I guess it's really anti-cult. Very, very anti-cult. What would be the way that we would... Maybe you'd make groups within the community and then it would represent that group. Be a democratic dictator. Let democracy do its thing. Only take part when you feel it's a problem with something. But I just think that's a dictator. I think that's the same as that. Adding the word democratic before the word dictator, I don't think makes it any better. Oh, so now you're not micromanaging anything. No dictator micromanages everything. But they set the rules in place, and any time that they feel like someone's breaking a rule, they intervene. That's what a dictator is. Maybe we can make a model where democracy doesn't fail them. I mean, maybe that's
Fry,
what this is
don't
all
be
about.
so hard on yourself. We're only human. Nobody can choose where they come from. We're all potted powerhouse after Amalekel.
Exactly. I definitely should make this community. For me, this, whether it ends up being part of a YouTube channel or just be something, again, I don't know how to moderate it. I don't really have time. If there was a way for me to monetize this, obviously I wouldn't be charging a membership fee, but maybe just making it attached to a YouTube or to a vlog, or I don't know. That would allow me to actually invest the time and effort into this and not having to compete with my work, but maybe I do have time for it. It just seems like a lot of work. But I guess if I delegate it enough. I just feel like what happens, you delegate and then you start politics. It just seems like it's going to be a lot of politics. You know, a lot of differences in opinion, and where do you put your foot down? I hate that stuff. I don't like it. What do you work with? I don't know what that means. What do I work with? But this, you know, Twitch and YouTube is my full-time job. Democracy or republic? I don't know. I don't know the nuances between those two things. Is this going on YouTube? No. You know, if I wanted to make a, I don't think I'd make a compilation and be rambling about it. It would be more once we've thought these things through to actually explain it. I could promote it through YouTube. I mean, maybe the key to this is, like, you know, one of the flaws in democracy is you end up with a few people brainwashing everyone and gaining power that way. Stupid people. Maybe there's a... Maybe this is the beginning of something that just works a little bit better. Who knows? Make a video on this about the deep fry, yeah, maybe. The 7 TV, I don't know if that's the BT TV. I used to have that, but it would glitch out my chat and stuff like that. That's why I removed it. I'm gonna write some of this stuff down. What we've come up with as a community, rule number 1 is no violence. 2 is no open aggression. Define. How to define. That's the problem with that. And then we have 3 is not going to be a rule. It's a standard. Try to treat others. If you were them, you would like treated. At least try. And then 4 would be tolerance. Everything. Every view. Except 1 and 2. Thank you, Owen. Entire server polls on controversial topics every couple of months. Yeah, that's a lot of potential. Make it more of a secret thing? I don't know. Size. heavily advertised. How to deal. I just don't, you know, before democracy was the thing, there was no democracy either. Maybe there's just a... When I'm thinking about how politics would even work in a community like this, and just bumping into problems, maybe there's a formula that actually, I mean, you know, trying it in a Discord community maybe would be... Instead of the death penalty, you just get banned, you know? That would actually be a really cool way to experiment with this. Instead of going to jail, you just get banned. All prison is just taking the person away from society. Just kick him out. Will PvZ Heroes be updated sometime soon? I don't know. I don't work for PopCap. Shirk? Is this supposed to say Shrek? Maybe I'll go on a little walk right now. Think about it. Alright guys, thanks. That was a fun night. I'm feeling actually a lot more at ease. I have to think about this. But you're right, if I don't, instead of running away, maybe I should actually try to make my own community. It would just be really nice if I could... Huh. I guess directly insinuating violence. Oh, I guess I should check your guys' decks before I go. I'll do that now. Screw that. Decks. Checking your decks. See what you got today. There's just one. Oh, we have no decks today. It's just a Discord invite. For Starlord OP. Let's go. You're in. Starchy Boy is in the house. Wait. Oh, I'm not adding your Discord though. I'm DMing you an invite. can probably just invite you. I think I have your Discord already. Should I just invite you? Didn't I have Drifty Wings here already? Oh, maybe that was on Facebook. Anyway, I'll just make an invite. It's not that hard. Welcome to the club. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow. The way you join the Discord, the instructions are here. Follow them carefully. Star Slurred is alright. Alright, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you.